next in Depsang and Demchok friction points. Seven killed in the terror attack at Jammu and Kashmir's Ganderbal on Sunday night. NIA likely to take over probe. Sources say Lashkar-e-Taiba offshoot TRF is behind the attack. Spurt of bomb threats plague India. Airline security beefed up across airports and flight center to make hoax calls a cognizable offence. State of war, Maharashtra heats up. Congress top brass huddle to discuss seat sharing, says Aghadi discussions on 96 seats done. Big storm over Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud's divine intervention for Ram Mandir remark. Congress hits out. Samajwadi Party Neta hurls abuse at the Chief Justice of India. Backtracks then. Clamor for more babies in the south of India. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin backs Andhra Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu's 2+ babies call. Says it will help tackle aging demography and poll eligibility. Recalled High Commissioner Sanjay Verma speaks out for the first time. Says India has no role in Nijjar's killing. Claims Canada yet to offer any proof. All right, let's get you the very latest that is coming in from the Congress camp right where seat sharing is concerned in the state of Maharashtra. Congress top brass huddle right ahead of polls. Congress poll body meet in the national capital. Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Kharge were at the poll meet. Talks on Maharashtra, Jharkhand seat sharing held. Listen in, the latest reactions coming.
इतने बड़े चुनाव में और जहां सभी पार्टी के लोग अपने पार्टी के नेताओं के ऊपर दबाव बनाते हैं, मेरे को लड़ना है, मेरे को लड़ना है, मेरे लिए लाओ टिकट, मेरे लिए लाओ टिकट, आप गठबंधन में हो तो इसका क्या मतलब। तो नेताओं को अपने इन कैडर के, इन कार्यकर्ताओं के ऊपर वो नियंत्रण रख के जिस बड़ी जिम्मेदारी से वो काम करते रहे हैं लीडर्स, तीनों पार्टी के लीडर्स जिम्मेदारी से काम करते रहे, वो करते रहना होगा, क्योंकि ये देश हित की बात है, समाज हित की बात है, महाराष्ट्र के हित की बात है, और मुझे लगता है कि रास्ता निकल जाएगा।
All right, let's cut across to Rahul Gautam, who's been tracking this meet very closely. Rahul, all eyes now practically fixed, especially where the Maharashtra sheet sharing arrangement is concerned, because enough bickering, lots of conflict within the Aghadi. You've heard openly the Uddhav Thackeray faction come out at the Congress over seat sharing. Any consensus being built? What's the latest coming in from this meet?
Well, Preeti, this is crucial meeting of Congress party is still underway, which is Congress Election Committee, and it is being attended by Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi is also present in this meeting. In fact, all the senior leaders of Maharashtra are also attending and deliberating on, we've been informed there are 96 seats that are up for take, which are being discussed at this point of time, and both Shiv Sena and Congress party wants to emerge as the largest party, the biggest party as far as Mahavikas Aghadi is concerned, because then it would create pressure, on the other partners, when it comes to decide who's going to become the chief minister of that particular state. So that's the, you can say, that's the trait which is being shown by these two important alliance partners. We've been informed that as we speak, the seat sharing is in the last minutes, and in fact some finishing touches are being given. There are 17 seats that include seats from Vidarbha and Mumbai, which have become a bone of contention between Shiv Sena and Congress. Congress does not want to give many seats to Shiv Sena in Vidarbha region, where they emerge as the single largest party. In fact, out of 10 Vidarbha seats, Congress won 5, while Shiv Sena won only 1. So clearly, Congress is saying that if those seats will be contested by Shiv Sena, then essentially Shiv Sena will be eating into Congress party's vote share. So,
Rahul, very quickly before we let you go, is there a sense, especially where the Congress High Command is concerned, because they've seen the debacle where the local unit of Haryana and the central unit of Congress had very diametrically different points of views on alliances, on candidates. Yet the local unit got the better of the High Command, and the result is there for all to see. Is there a sense after the Haryana humiliation that the Congress might be thinking of maybe being a little more accommodative? What's the train of thought?
Well, as far as Congress top leadership is concerned, they are proactive this time around, given the fact that they are appointing observers. A battery of leaders have been appointed as observers. Similarly, Congress is clearly trying to accommodate both Shiv Sena and NCP, provided the number of seats that they're going to be given to these two alliance partners are those seats which are they going to win, because Congress leaders are saying that we have seen in Lok Sabha that many seats that were given to Shiv Sena, they essentially lost, and then they were not able to restrict BJP in the state of Maharashtra. So that's the argument that Congress party is saying, that we have emerged as the single largest party as far as Mahavikas Aghadi is concerned. Therefore, if you want to contest seats where Congress party has a say or dominant, then you have to share the feedback, local feedback, surveys, and that's really happening at this point of time. We've been informed that surveys are being exchanged and the last minute touches that are being given. Tomorrow we are hearing that once seat sharing concludes, the seat sharing formula will be made public via a press conference, which will be addressed by top Mahavikas Aghadi leaders concerned. So this time Congress is very wary, and they are trying to accommodate as many you can say apprehensions or the issues that are being faced by the alliance partners, because they have seen that the big India bloc unity that they always talk about has really not worked in Haryana. So that's why they want to implement this time in Maharashtra, so to make a comeback in the state of Maharashtra.
All right, appreciate you joining us. Thank you there, Rahul, getting us up to speed with the latest. That meeting still going on. Trust us to get you the latest filtering out from there. Meanwhile, let's quickly shift focus to the other big news developing. Right ahead of the BRICS Summit in Russia, India and China have now agreed on patrolling arrangements along the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh. Now, this may lead to disengagement at the India-China border. The development comes following recent negotiations between officials from both countries. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri added that Indian and Chinese negotiators have been in contact over the past few weeks to resolve the remaining issues along the border. Relations between the two neighbors have been tense since Galwan Valley clash in 2020, which resulted in the death of 20 Indian soldiers and unspecified number of Chinese soldier deaths.
Over the last several weeks, Indian and Chinese diplomatic and military negotiators have been in close contact with each other in a variety of forums. And as a result of these discussions, agreement has been arrived at on patrolling arrangements along the line of actual control in the India-China border areas, leading to disengagement and a resolution of the issues. This is a multilateral event, though of course there is always a provision for bilateral meetings on the sidelines. We are currently looking into the overall program of the Prime Minister. There are a number of requests for bilateral meetings, and we will update you on the bilaterals as they evolve as soon as feasible.
You spoke about patrolling resuming. Now, there were two friction points that existed before the Galwan problem. And these were cases where patrolling was blocked. So when you say that patrolling has resumed, can we assume that these two friction points, the problems there, because both sides were blocking the patrolling, the Chinese did that first, then India did it, those problems have been eliminated?
So let me say it again. An agreement has been reached on patrolling arrangements along the line of actual control in the India-China border areas. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right. right, the news break coming in on that. The inside track on the India-China LAC thaw. Sources suggest that the MEA held multiple meetings. Army played an active role in talks and conditions set for patrolling along the LAC. Disengagement headed in a positive direction. Joining me for more on this news break is my colleague Shivani Sharma. Shivani, you know, one thing that even the Minister of External Affairs, Mr. S. Jaishankar, a short while back had said that it was the patience that paid off from the Indian side. What can we look at on further developments where it comes down to disengagement, where Demchok is concerned?
Preeti, this is a big diplomatic win for India because, you know, since the Galwan clash happened in June 2020, there have been several rounds of talks between the on the diplomatic level as well as on the military level. And every time it was a win for India, starting from 2020 June when the disengagement initiated from Galwan, and then in 2021 from Pangong, so later from Hot Spring and Gogra. And now what the breakthrough has come is about the resolution on the agreement of India and China on resuming the patrolling rights for both of them along the remaining friction points. And it's very evident, Preeti, when the Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said that this will be leading to disengagement, that means these 2 points he's referring to is of Depsang Plains and Demchok, where the whole focus have been for disengagement because, you know, these are the points where the maximum tensions prevailed between India and China, especially after the Galwan clash happened in 2020. And now working on the mechanism of disengagement means that the troop deployment will be cut by both the countries. Patrolling will resume because, you know, India had blocked Chinese soldiers from patrolling on the initial points, and so did the Chinese. So now this will resume, and then the disengagement will happen. So it will happen in a phased manner. This will certainly release tensions between India and China, especially on these two friction points along the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh. So this is a major breakthrough, and Dr. S. Jaishankar also in an event has confirmed what the Foreign Secretary has said about the disengagement advances. He has said that this is a positive news. We were in talks, we were prepared, we were having equal deployments on the LAC, but yes, we were negotiating too. So these negotiations and several rounds of talks between both the countries, especially on the military and the diplomatic levels, have now yielded this result, this breakthrough, where the tension are being expected to be eased out.
All right, a big diplomatic win where India is concerned, and also especially a road ahead where disengagement comes into question ever since things had reached a crescendo where tensions between India and China in 2022 post-Galwan. We're going to continue to get our viewers more. Shivani, appreciate you joining us. Let's quickly dip into the latest news break that's just filtering in now. There's been a big jolt in the BJP Maharashtra. Well, that's what the word is coming in right now. BJP Navi Mumbai veteran son may quit very soon. Denied ticket, BJP Neta Ganesh Nayak to quit. He may, in fact, join the Sharad Pawar NCP. That's the latest that we are getting in. BJP leader Ganesh Nayak has got ticket from Navi Mumbai's Airoli, and his son Sandeep Nayak wanted a ticket from Belapur, which has been given to the sitting candidate of Manda Matre. Sandeep will meet his party workers tomorrow to decide the future course of action, but in all probability, he is looking to join the Sharad Pawar NCP faction. Ganesh Nayak is a veteran in Navi Mumbai and shifted to BJP from NCP. My colleague Mustafa joining us live with the very latest news break. Mustafa, 99 seats announced where the Mahayuti is concerned, and the BJP already facing some heat on it.
Well, yes, Preeti, it's a high-stake battle of Maharashtra as we are getting to see it, and somewhere the BJP must have also expected it, that Ganesh Nayak, who's a veteran politician from the Mumbai area, he has been given a ticket by the BJP in Airoli, but his son, Sandeep Nayak, was also demanding a seat from the neighborhood constituency of Belapur. The sitting MLA, Manda Matre of the BJP, has been given that seat, and Sandeep has clearly seemed to have taken a call that he is not sitting quietly this election, and he's made up his mind to to contest this election come what may, and hence it seems that Sandeep will soon leave the BJP and join the NCP Sharad Pawar faction. He is in touch with the senior leaders of the Sharad Pawar faction. He is likely to contest Belapur seat on the symbol of Sharad Pawar faction. So clearly you can say that the BJP has tried to play it safe by giving most of its tickets to the sitting candidates, but at the same point the aspiring candidates are raising their voice or taking whatever options available. This is just for the BJP, because their list has come out. As the list for other parties also come out, there are so many claimants in Maharashtra that there are many people who are likely to leave the official party and even contest as independent if not given a chance. Back to you.
All right, Mustafa, appreciate you joining us with the very latest coming in where the BJP is concerned. The Mahayuti gave out seats where 99 seats were concerned, and upsets already where the BJP is concerned on that front. But on the other side, Mahavikas Aghadi far from reaching even consensus on seat sharing. With that, let's quickly move on. Civil Aviation Minister K. Ram Mohan Naidu announced today that the government is planning to amend laws to address the growing number of bomb threats targeting Indian airlines. Now, these include placing the culprits responsible for such threats on a low-fly list. In the past week alone, nearly 125 hoax calls have been made which grounded flights which were taking off from India or landing back home.
Over 125 bomb threats in 1 week. Hoax calls plague Indian airlines. The Union Civil Aviation Ministry is cracking the whip as fake threats impact flights from the country. The government says perpetrators of hoax bomb threats will be put on a no-fly list. Making such threats will soon be treated as a cognizable offence. The government is also considering amendments to the airline safety laws.
We are trying to make an amendment. Our legal team has worked very thoroughly on this, and we are coming up with an amendment, and then we are taking in, because this has to be a legal change in the Act, we need a consultation from other stakeholders, other ministries also. So we are in that process right now. But we are definitely pushing forward to bring a change in the Suwaska Act also, so that it addresses for these kind of offences which happen when the flight is on ground, so that we can take strict action on them, we can make it cognizable offence. While we are trying to efficiently tackle this situation through the threats we are receiving, we are also not compromising on the safety and security. This also I want to make it a very priority point, because you might feel that there are these threats happening, but we can't. Even though there are hoax threats, we can't take the situation non-seriously. Everything is important for us. Now the life of a passenger is important, the security situation is important, so the protocol is important for us. So we have enhanced the security also.
Over 125 flights have received hoax bomb threats in the last 1 week. Bomb threat assessment teams have been deployed at all airports in India. Sources say that around 90% threats came from abroad, while 10% of the calls were made from India. The Union Home Ministry's cyber wing, CERT-IN, is keeping a close eye on the bomb threats. Calls made using virtual private network and IP addresses are being probed. A user on social media website X was booked for claiming there is a bomb threat to Lucknow-Dammam flight last week. Multiple Indigo flights received bomb threats on Sunday. An account on X claimed that 12 bombers were on 6 Indigo planes that received the bomb threats. Airport authorities are on alert. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's get you up to speed with the latest news that came in. Disturbing news at that from Jammu and Kashmir. Terror attacks in Kashmir today claimed 7 lives. One doctor and 6 migrant workers were killed when terrorists opened fire at a construction site in Jammu Kashmir's Ganderbal on Sunday evening. In response, a 4-member NIA team is set to visit the attack site with indications that the NIA may take over investigations. Senior army officers have also arrived at that situation. Meanwhile, images from the attack site in Sonmarg show heavy security presence at the under-construction tunnel. Armed forces are guarding the area while massive search operations are underway. According to sources, the attack is believed to be the handiwork of Lashkar-e-Taiba's proxy group, TRF. Reports suggest the terrorists in a group of 2-3 had conducted a recce of the site before executing the terror attack.
इस हमले की जितनी निंदा की जाए, जितना इसके खिलाफ बोला जाए कम है। बेगुनाहों के खिलाफ इस तरह तशद्दुद का इस्तेमाल ये कहाँ से जायज़ है। अगर हमारे सिक्योरिटी ग्रिड में कहीं गैप्स हैं, कहीं खामियां हैं, कहीं कमज़ोरियां हैं, उनको दुरुस्त किया जाएगा। वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट ने कभी ये नहीं चाहा कि यहाँ नॉर्मल सी हो, यहाँ हालात ठीक हों, लेकिन इन्हीं वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट्स को तो हमने पहले भी शिकस्त दी, आगे भी इनको हम नाकामयाब करेंगे।
कितने बजे? 6 बजे। क्या कह रहे थे? वीडियो कॉल की थी, मंदिर जा रही थी, मैं तैयार होके तो ऐसे ही बस की थी इन्होंने। आपको कितने बजे पता चला इसकी? मुझे पूरी रात नहीं पता चला, उनको कॉल पे कॉल करती रही, सुनाई नहीं रहे थे, तो ये नहीं बता रहा था ना, मैं फोन उठाया इन्होंने। क्या आतंकवादियों से क्या कहना चाहेंगे? सबके घर उजाड़ दिए उन्होंने, सबके घर उजाड़ दिए। सरकार से क्या मेरे बच्चे हैं, दो उनकी सेफ्टी के लिए, उनकी सिक्योरिटी के लिए मैं उनसे बोलना चाहूंगी।
आपका ये ख्वाब पूरा करूंगा, मैं खून पसीना एक करूंगा, लेकिन आपका ये ख्वाब जाया नहीं होने दूंगा, क्योंकि ये मेरे दादा का ख्वाब था। मेरा दादा एक इंस्पेक्टर था, उसने मुझे बचपन में बोला था, बेटा तू, तेरा चेहरा बताता है, तू एक IAS ऑफिसर बनेगा। मेरे पापा ने बोला, मैंने ठान लिया है, मैं आपको एक IAS ऑफिसर बनाऊंगा। लेकिन कल जब मैंने ये खबर सुनी तो मुझे लगा कि मेरा ये ख्वाब जो है शायद अब पूरा नहीं होगा, क्योंकि अब मैं क्या करूं, अब मैं अपने आप को संभालूं, अपने फैमिली मेंबर्स को संभालूं, मैं भी इन बच्चों जैसा हूं।
That tragic report going into a quick break. Stay with us. On the other side is our fact check segment.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
नया फोन बिल्कुल मेरे जैसा।
तेरा ही फोन है, टीम बस में भूल आया था तू। क्रिकेट के बाद का प्लान ऐसे मत भूल जाना भाई।
क्रिकेट के बाद का प्लान मतलब पाजी?
मतलब रिटायरमेंट का प्लान।
इस जनरेशन ने तो उस बारे में सोचा भी नहीं होगा।
नहीं भाई पहले मैच से ही सोचा है, इसलिए तो वो कर रखा है।
वो मतलब क्या?
वही जो सब लोग सही है करते रहते हैं।
म्यूचुअल फंड्स में SIP।
म्यूचुअल फंड्स में SIP। अगर ऐसे भूल भी जाओ ना तो भी रिटायरमेंट का प्लान बैकग्राउंड में चलते रहना चाहिए, ताकि आगे की लाइफ सेट रहे।
सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
एक दोस्त है जिससे बात किए बिना हम रह नहीं सकते, बातें घंटों की हों या कुछ सेकंड्स की। ये दोस्त हमेशा हमारी बात सुनता है, क्योंकि हमारा सबसे अच्छा दोस्त भगवान ही तो है। मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ।
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hi, I am AI anchor Sana, bringing the top headlines for you, presented by Motorola. India and China reach agreement on border patrolling along LAC ahead of BRICS Summit. Setback for Arvind Kejriwal, Supreme Court dismisses plea over remarks on PM Modi's degree. IPS officer Ajay Kumar Singh appointed as new DGP of Jharkhand, approved by Election Commission.
Results day humiliation for our rivals. India today smashes viewership charts. Unfake, unfuzzy, unfixed viewership. Zero landing equals viewership domination. Others bark, our viewership has bite. India's true #1 channel.
Welcome back. You're watching a fact-check segment. There is a claim floating about suggesting Israeli troops preparing to strike Iran. The fact-check on that. The video is a modified version of the Grand Theft Auto 5 game. Completely false information, fake news. With that fact-check, time for me to go into a break. Stay with us. On the other side is To the Point.
India's aviation industry is facing a nightmare. Over 100 flights getting bomb threats, all of them hoax calls. Most of the hoax threats were via social media, emails, some even left in lavatories. Several Indian carriers, including Air India, Indigo, Akasa Air, Vistara, SpiceJet, Star Air and Alliance Air were subjected to numerous bomb threats. In the latest, multiple flights received hoax bomb threats. Airport authorities immediately took action, guiding the aircraft to an isolated area for further inspection. The Government of India has taken serious note of the threats, holding multiple meetings between the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security and the CEOs of domestic airlines. Airlines have been instructed to strictly follow standard operating procedures and immediately share all relevant information with stakeholders. The government is planning to introduce measures to counter these threats. The proposed actions include stringent new law targeting hoax callers, placing hoax callers on the no-fly list, and strict punishment for hoax callers. The government has suspended and deactivated over a dozen social media handles that issued hoax bomb threats and even arrested several suspects. The government transferred DGCA DG Vikram Dutt and appointed him as the new Coast Secretary. Bureau Report, India Today.
The gloves have been off. The battle lines long drawn. And finally, the poll bugle sounded. The Maha of all polls with Maha impact. The stakes are high, the returns will be higher. 30 days to go before the vote is cast, and it's game on. While the incumbent Mahayuti has already announced candidates on 99 seats, consensus far from reached over seat sharing in the Mahavikas Aghadi.
हमारे से ज़्यादा तो महायुति में गड़बड़ है, अभी कुछ सामने नहीं आ रहा है, लेकिन मेरा ये कहना है कि हमारा भी 30-40 सीटों पे जो है वो जो सीटों का बंटवारा है वो सवाल हो जाएगा। कल हम पहली लिस्ट डिक्लेयर करेंगे, ऐसा हमारा प्लान है।
In Maharashtra, the seats of Vidarbha, Marathwada and Mumbai are now deadlocked. 40 seats across Maharashtra disputed. 15 seats in Vidarbha and Marathwada, with both Congress and Shiv Sena claiming them. There are 3 seats in Mumbai in which Congress is claiming Versova, Baikala and Dharavi. Shiv Sena UBT is claiming Versova, Baikala and Ghatkopar. And in Mumbai, Samajwadi is now claiming Baikala, Mankhurd, Shivaji Nagar, Versova and Anushakti Nagar. Shiv Sena UBT is not ready to leave even one seat in East Vidarbha for the Congress, claiming these seats of East Vidarbha the Congress has never won. According to sources, Shiv Sena UBT also threatening to field its own candidate on Sangli pattern like Congress. Meanwhile, the BJP has released their first list of 99 candidates. Deputy CM Devendra Fadnavis, State BJP President Chandrasekhar Bawankule, Ministers Girish Mahajan, Sudhir Mungantiwar have all been named in the BJP list.
नेतृत्व ने मुझ पर विश्वास दिखाया कि सेकंड टाइम इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से मैं लड़े। इस विश्वास को खरा यानी इस विश्वास को पात्र होने का मेरा प्रयत्न रहेगा।
विकास आघाड़ी को हम हमेशा महाविकास आघाड़ी कहते रहे हैं। वह आइडियोलॉजिकली एक साथ नहीं आए हैं और यह हमने 2.5 वर्षों में जब वह सत्ता में थे तब भी देखा और अब भी आगे आपको यही देखने मिलेगा।
While the Mahayuti has more or less also endorsed Eknath Shinde as CM face, the tussle still on in the Ghadi. Not only on the CM face, but even on seat sharing. All while the Maha of all election knocks. Battleground Maharashtra, top focus on To The Point this evening. Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhry. Where the Mahayuti is concerned, now there is clear consensus, at least on seat sharing. 155 to 160 seats where the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, about 50 to 55 seats where the NCP is concerned, 80 to 85 seats where the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena is concerned. Till now, no consensus coming in from the Mahavikas Aghadi. As I speak right now, there is a meeting going on in Delhi looking in terms of seat sharing where the Congress is concerned, and the Congress confident that in the next 24 hours, the Mahavikas Aghadi will be announcing its seats. But all not well in the Mahayuti as well, especially the BJP. After it announced 99 seats, fair amount of grumblings there as well. So who is ahead perception-wise? Let's cut across to our panelists this evening. Joining me, Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor, India Today TV. He's in the studio. Sahil Joshi, managing editor, Aaj Tak Mumbai Bureau. Amitabh Tiwari, election analyst. And Sudhir Suryavanshi, senior journalist and author. Rajdeep Sardesai, your home state, at least where seat sharing is concerned, Mahayuti seat sharing down pat, far from consensus between the Maha Aghadi.
Look, both sides have their problems. The Mahavikas Aghadi's problems are playing out in the open, in public, and therefore appear even messier than what is the case with the Mahayuti. I keep calling it a Maha mess because even after the BJP has announced its first list of 99 candidates, don't be surprised, and there are already indications that in several seats, those who have not got tickets intend to plan to contest as independents or switch sides and possibly find a seat being given to them by the Mahavikas Aghadi. The Mahavikas Aghadi is caught in this tug of war, particularly between Uddhav Thackeray and the Congress, which has been rather acrimonious and public. So I think what you're seeing is the consequence, Preeti, of 6 parties competing for a limited number of seats, each one determined to try and get the maximum number of seats for themselves and thereby claim to be the natural contenders for the Chief Minister. Kaun Banega Chief Minister is aligned to also Kaun Banega Sarkar. And ever since the Congress lost Haryana, the Congress's bargaining power, possibly vis-a-vis some of their allies, has reduced. By contrast, the BJP's bargaining power vis-a-vis its allies has increased. And therefore, the Mahayuti appears, at least on the surface, more organized at the moment, more battle ready at the moment than the Mahavikas Aghadi.
You know, I'm going to bring in Sahil, but Rajdeep, coming in on that, because you say there are problems with both between the Mahayuti, and it just played out about 20 minutes ago, where Girish Nayak, one of the BJP leaders, now looking to possibly skip to the Sharad Pawar faction of the NCP. He'd come in from the NCP. But Rajdeep, you know, if we are going to look at what went down in Haryana, then at least the BJP is announcing its seats earlier. It will be able to manage the rebels quicker. They'll have enough time to settle all those differences. At least there's a plan of action. They know that they're fighting these many seats and they need to manage, the rebels, independents, whatever come what may.
Well, we know that there will be a pretty large Congress list that's likely to be announced later tonight or tomorrow morning. There's a Central Election Committee meeting going on as we speak. So that I don't think that's the concern as to who's got first of the blocks. What should be of greater concern is what is your level of cohesion? Are you going to be able to ensure that when you declare your seats, there will be minimum number of rebels, that you can control that rebellion? The Congress was not able to do that in Haryana, which the BJP succeeded in doing. The BJP had a number of rebels, but they managed to pacify them. What means they adopted to pacify them is another question. But the Congress was unable to do so, or was unwilling to do so, because they thought they were going to win that election. That's not the case in Maharashtra, which is more competitive. So I think whoever manages the rebels, because there will be rebels on both sides, will perhaps have an edge.
As I bring in Amitabh Tiwari and Sahil Joshi, as well as Sudhir Suryavanshi, senior journalist and author, who's joining us in just about a minute. Rajdeep, rebels' independence, how much of a factor will they play in this election?
Huge. And I think they will be huge in Maharashtra, quite simply because of the multipolarity nature of the contest. If I don't get a seat from one of the main parties, I will switch over, become an independent or a rebel. And there have been occasions, 1995, where you've had more than 25, 30 rebels and small party candidates win the election and then decide the fate of a government. So it's not unusual in Maharashtra to have a large number of rebels and independents contesting, and many of them influential enough to either damage or even win a seat.
Sudhir Suryavanshi, do you concur with Rajdeep? Whose house more in order, even though the Mahayuti off the block first, yesterday announcing at least the BJP 99 seats, in principle, seat sharing fixed where the Mahayuti is concerned?
You know, as Rajdeep has said, on the surface, Mahayuti may look well organized and coherent, but in Mahayuti, there is a big fight is going on between the Shinde and the BJP also. Shinde is known as a hard bargainer. You know what, Shinde, as per my information, I spoke with a couple of senior BJP leaders and a couple of Shiv Sena leaders who belongs to the Shinde. They said whatever the Uddhav Thackeray, the number of seats he will get in the Mahavikas Aghadi, the same number of seats is Eknath Shinde is asking from the BJP. So BJP is not ready to consider seats. He is saying that if you not consider, there is a chances that Mahayuti may not come in power. So there is big tussle between the BJP and the Shinde also. At the same time, Shinde is insisting he should declare as a chief minister face, while the BJP is reluctant, Ajit Pawar is reluctant. So there is a big fight within the Mahayuti has been going on. So, in couple of days, as Rajdeep said, there are a lot of rebellions, this time. In 1995, there are more than 40, independent got elected, and the independent helped to form the government. So we should not surprise this time also more independent get elected, and they may extend, their hand to form the government. So in Mahavikas Aghadi, Uddhav Thackeray and the Congress particularly, both are fighting. Congress is seeing that they have, gained the ground in the Lok Sabha. Their core vote bank like Dalit, Muslim and the Adivasi tribal has come back. So they have big chances to emerge as the single largest party as they emerge in the Lok Sabha. So they don't want to consider any number of seats, particularly in Vidarbha region. While Shiv Sena, particularly Uddhav Thackeray, feels that they should have the presence in the Vidarbha also. There are 15, something seats where the dispute and bone of contention is there. I think in a couple of days, they will iron out their differences, and they have to come out as a cohesive as a Mahayuti is looking. Otherwise, they don't have any option.
All right, Sudhir Suryavanshi, you say 15. Mr. Patole just a short while back spoke to the press saying 40 seats right now, where there seems to be a dispute. But Sahil, do you concur with Rajdeep and Sudhir? Because optics-wise, perception-wise, especially after Haryana, the Mahayuti seems ahead, figured out seat sharing, 99 seats announced, or do you think there's a lot that's going on in the backdrop?
Undoubtedly, the BJP announcing candidates on the 99 seats at one go has definitely created a lot of pressure on Mahavikas Aghadi and also on his Mahayuti partners. Today, Ajit Pawar started distributing the AB forms to his probable candidates, but has not declared its official list yet. But let's come to Mahavikas Aghadi. Interestingly, what has happened in Mahavikas Aghadi is that after Lok Sabha elections, now every party thinks that they should have their particular share if Mahavikas Aghadi comes to power. Now, what is actually the problem? See, in board exams, you know that there are multiple question papers which the students solve, which are the question papers from the earlier years to get an idea of what exactly is going to be the new question paper. So accordingly, the Lok Sabha elections have given a kind of a scenario to various political parties, and they have understood their possibility of winning a particular seat and possibility of not winning a particular seat. So Shiv Sena UBT has understood that their influence in areas like Thane or in Konkan is not up to the mark the way it used to be when the Shiv Sena was united. So there they are going to go down a bit. So they want some kind of a compensation from Congress. And the Congress has won the seats which Shiv Sena used to fight when Shiv Sena BJP used to fight together in Maharashtra, like say Ramtek, and that seat became confirmed seat for the Mahavikas Aghadi, because in all the 6 assembly segments, the Mahavikas Aghadi is leading there. So obviously the Shiv Sena thinks that if they are going down in Thane and other places where they are going to get the maximum number of seats, because there is no presence of Congress or a NCP-SP, and they are going to face a lot of problems because of that, because the Shinde is very strong there. The BJP in support of Shinde is also very strong there. So they should be compensated on the seats where the MVA was ahead in Lok Sabha elections, and those seats can come from Vidarbha. The Congress says that those seats cannot be given to you, because if the candidate from Shiv Sena UBT is given, the seat will be lost. And that is where the whole problem has started. And it has reached to a point now that finally the Congress High Command had to come in between. And it also started because the Shiv Sena UBT finally decided to write a letter to the Congress party. And the Congress then started feeling that there is some kind of other conspiracy going on in Shiv Sena. Otherwise, why would Shiv Sena put it on paper that these number of the seats we will be needing to fight in Maharashtra? Whenever any political party puts such kind of a demand, in a written demand, then there is a possibility that the way it happened with Nitish Kumar, that he formed the India Alliance and then suddenly shifted to the BJP. Those kind of conspiracy theories started floating around, and that is where the problem happened, actually.
Well, the conspiracy theory that had been making the rounds is once again cropping up, but I'll address that with Rajdeep in just about a minute. Amitabh Tiwari, to bring you in, Sahil touched upon the regions, and ultimately it's going to come down to that. So if the Shiv Sena, which is the Uddhav Thackeray faction, is seeming to feel that it's weakening in the Konkan area where the Thane area is concerned, Thane especially because of the Eknath Shinde factor, wanting to be compensated in East Vidarbha. How does it all play out where regions are concerned? Because Vidarbha is where the Congress was hoping to bolster its figures.
See, the issue with Shiv Sena UBT is that in regions where it is strong, like Thane, Konkan or Mumbai, even BJP and Shiv Sena Shinde are fairly strong. And Congress and NCP are not that strong. So it has to fight a lone battle largely in Thane, Konkan. In Mumbai, Congress still has strong presence and it can support Shiv Sena UBT candidates. Now, this compensation theory could not work in any alliance, saying that since we are weak in one of the regions and none of you are there to support us, please give us seats in the stronghold regions of Vidarbha, where the Congress party did well in 2024 general election. See, it seems that Vidarbha is going to be the deciding factor of this election, because it's largely a Congress versus BJP battle, with NCP and Shiv Sena not having that significant presence there. And that is also a hotbed of agri-distress, farmer suicides, and it's comparatively a significantly backward region compared to other regions. However, that said, there are 30 seats which the Congress party has not won in Vidarbha in the last 3 elections after 2008. And there are 8 seats which the Shiv Sena or the undivided Shiv Sena has won at least once in the last 3 elections. So it is natural for Shiv Sena also to make a claim on those seats. However, the main contention is that BJP is the clear leader in Mahayuti. While the Sharad Pawar faction and the Shiv Sena UBT faction are not conceding the leadership role to the Congress in the MVA. That's number one. Number two, since the CM face is not announced, and since Uddhav Thackeray was the chief minister, and since now the formula is that whichever party gets a higher number of seats could get to occupy the CM face, that makes it difficult for Shiv Sena UBT to claim the chief ministership if it contests on a significantly lesser number of seats compared to the Congress party. That is why it is bargaining for a higher number of seats.
Catch-22 where the Uddhav Sena is concerned. But Rajdeep, you know, where the Mahavikas Aghadi is concerned right now, it's come down to the Uddhav faction and Uddhav Thackeray. They seem to be the troublemakers in all of this right now.
You know, in a strange way, they were also, some would argue, troublemakers, although they denied during the Lok Sabha elections as well. And that's one of the reasons why the Sangli seat eventually led to a
They're threatening to do a Sangli this time as well.
Sorry?
They're threatening to do a Sangli on multiple seats this time as well.
Their argument is that, you know, we got Sangli, but you forget that we gave up seats that we could have won. I think they overestimate their support. I think Uddhav Thackeray feels that unless he gets a sufficient number of seats, he won't win a sufficient number of seats. And unless he doesn't win a sufficient number of seats, he won't be taken seriously as a chief ministerial contender. You see, for all the talk that they say that Uddhav Thackeray is not interested in the chief ministership, people around him are trying to convince him, you alone can be the chief ministerial candidate of the opposition alliance. But that will depend on the final numbers. I think this is therefore the hard bargaining, particularly post-Haryana, where the Congress was weakened, where Uddhav Thackeray is sensing opportunity. There's been a lot of talk and speculation. Is Uddhav Thackeray simply bargaining hard because he's also...
Or is he looking to switch back?
Look, I don't think, where does he switch back to? I think that's, this is speculation, but the fact is anything has to now happen in Maharashtra, I think, post-election. There's talk about what Ajit Pawar could do post-election. All of that will depend on the numbers. Today, if Uddhav Thackeray were to switch and go back to the BJP, he may well find that the BJP has no place for him as of now because they've already got an Eknath Shinde who's become possibly the one leader who's actually enhanced his popularity between Lok Sabha and now. So I don't see Uddhav Thackeray bargaining so hard because he wants to switch. I think he simply is worried that if he doesn't get a sufficient number of seats, he won't win a sufficient number, and then he has no bargaining chips.
So, Sudhir Suryavanshi, the insecurity of Uddhav Thackeray, could it cost the Mahavikas Aghadi? And how
Absolutely.
Much will it cost?
If you see, if the Congress and the Sharad Pawar faction NCP, only a couple of the requisite number, that is that magic figure in Maharashtra is 145, if they don't need also Uddhav Thackeray. So in that scenario, he is trying to be, make relevant himself by trying to get a number of more seats, so he can win the more seats, and the Mahavikas Aghadi alliance partner like a Congress and NCP, Sharad Pawar needs him more. Then they both can form the government. So this is very tricky situation for the Uddhav Thackeray. He was the chief minister earlier. Now he is fighting for to get a number of more
quickly,
seats.
30 seconds.
Now,
tricky situation for Uddhav Thackeray. Sorry to cut you short, Sudhir. Just want to bring in Sahil for 30 seconds. Tricky situation for Uddhav Thackeray and very frustrating situation for the Congress and Sharad Pawar.
Well, it's a tricky situation, and you just asked Rajdeep about the insecurity of Uddhav Thackeray actually will cost MV or not. But also, I think it's insecurity of Uddhav Thackeray plus the non-accommodative nature of the national parties like Congress also will cost Mahavikas Aghadi. The way BJP accommodated Nitish Kumar, despite him going down. That is what exactly is needed for Mahavikas Aghadi in Maharashtra, and that is how the way forward. Because Uddhav Thackeray not only need to compete within Mahavikas Aghadi, but he will need to compete with Eknath Shinde as well, and that is where the problem lies.
All right, that's all the time we have for not much time, because 24 hours is what the Mahavikas Aghadi is given, where they will come up with their seat sharing arrangements. It's by tomorrow, by this time, we should have an idea whether there has been a compromise or not. Quick break, stay with us. On the other side, Rahul Kanwal takes the news.
एक दोस्त है जिससे बात किए बिना हम रह नहीं सकते, बातें घंटों की हों या कुछ सेकंड्स की। ये दोस्त हमेशा हमारी बात सुनता है, क्योंकि हमारा सबसे अच्छा दोस्त भगवान ही तो है। मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ।
India's aviation industry is facing a nightmare. Over 100 flights getting bomb threats, all of them hoax calls. Most of the hoax threats were via social media, emails, some even left in lavatories. Several Indian carriers, including Air India, Indigo, Akasa Air, Vistara, SpiceJet, Star Air and Alliance Air were subjected to numerous bomb threats. In the latest, multiple flights received hoax bomb threats. Airport authorities immediately took action, guiding the aircraft to an isolated area for further inspection. The Government of India has taken serious note of the threats, holding multiple meetings between the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security and the CEOs of domestic airlines. Airlines have been instructed to strictly follow standard operating procedures and immediately share all relevant information with stakeholders. The government is planning to introduce measures to counter these threats. The proposed actions include stringent new law targeting hoax callers, placing hoax callers on the no-fly list, and strict punishment for hoax callers. The government has suspended and deactivated over a dozen social media handles that issued hoax bomb threats and even arrested several suspects. The government transferred DGCA DG Vikram Dutt and appointed him as the new Coast Secretary. Bureau Report, India Today.
अब बताइए मुझे, इन दरिंदों को मिलेगा क्या? क्या वो समझते हैं इससे यहाँ पाकिस्तान बनेगा? आज कई सालों से हम ये देख रहे हैं कि वो आ रहे हैं वहाँ से, और हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि ये मामला ख़त्म हो और हम लोग आगे बढ़ें, हम लोग मुश्किलों से निकल सकें।
Over the last several weeks, Indian and Chinese diplomatic and military negotiators have been in close contact with each other in a variety of forums. And as a result of these discussions, agreement has been arrived at on patrolling arrangements along the line of actual control in the India-China border areas, leading to disengagement and a resolution of the issues. This is a multilateral event, though of course there is always a provision for bilateral meetings on the sidelines. We are currently looking into the overall program of the Prime Minister. There are a number of requests for bilateral meetings, and we will update you on the bilaterals as they evolve as soon as feasible.
You spoke about patrolling resuming. Now, there were two friction points that existed before the Galwan problem, and these were cases where patrolling was blocked. So when you say that patrolling has resumed, can we assume that these two friction points the problems there because both sides were blocking the patrolling. The Chinese did that first, then India did it. Those problems have been eliminated.
So let me say it again. An agreement has been reached on patrolling arrangements along the line of actual control in the India-China border areas. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Prashant Vihar police station received an information about a heavy noise near CRPF school. Immediately police teams reached the spot and it was found that there's some foul smell and window panes, glasses were broken in the school premises and some nearby shops and 1 or 2 cars also. Senior police officers of the police reached the spot. Our experts from forensic department, crime team and even special cell are there. They are investigating the matter.
आज सुबह रोहिणी के अंदर बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट हो गया और एलजी साहब गायब है। जिस शख्स के पास कानून व्यवस्था की जिम्मेदारी है, केंद्र सरकार के जो नुमाइंदे वो कहां गायब हैं? मेरा सवाल है वो अब तक रोहिणी क्यों नहीं पहुंचे? अगर एलजी साहब से कानून व्यवस्था नहीं संभल रही है तो वो इस्तीफा दे दें, किसी और को आ जाने दें जो काम कर सके। पूरी तरीके से दिल्ली के एलजी विनय सक्सेना और केंद्र सरकार फेल है।
Presented by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Growing Legacies. Co-presented by Club Prime, Raho Befikar. Co-presented by एक हिंट तो देते, हिंट बड़े आराम से. Co-powered by the bold look of Kohler.
With heart disease and diabetes on the rise, it's crucial to prioritize health.
Rightly said, Rahul. That's exactly why we are launching the world's healthiest newsroom to kick off a health movement right here. India Today's newsroom will be using the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra and Watch 7 to keep a track of their health. It tracks workouts, energy score, measures blood pressure, constantly monitors heart rate and can even give a life-saving irregular heart rhythm notification in case anything is abnormal.
That's interesting, Sana. And who would know better than our AI anchor?
So India, let's get healthy with the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra and Watch 7.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul Kamal. A day before Prime Minister Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping share the same space at the BRICS Summit in Russia, India and China have announced disengagement along the friction points at Depsang and Demchok. This has been in the works for the past 4 years. It's finally happened. The timing is significant. If it goes through in the way that's been announced, it's a massive military and diplomatic victory for India. What is the significance coming as it does at a time when